It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, killing liberals. Back in the early 90s, I was dining at a Denny's in Humble, Texas with a couple of gay friends of mine. They, you could tell they were gay, you know, just at a glance. God love them for it. Toward the end of our meal, they seated a drunk redneck a couple tables away from us. He was wearing a cowboy hat, and almost instantly he started tearing in with the homophobic slurs, you know, to the waitress about us. And I was terrified. I thought we were going to be jumped in the parking lot and beaten to death with tire irons. Turned out that didn't happen, and my two buddies were completely oblivious to the entire incident, so they were fine. But it took me about 4 or 5 hours for my fear to subside. 7 or 8 years later, my then wife and I stopped for gas in Vidor, Texas on a road trip to New Orleans. Now, I know about Vidor and its racist history, but I figured, you know, what trouble can there be simply stopping for gas on I-10? Becky and I were dressed, you know, all in black, sort of art weirdos on our way to blend in at the Big Easy. And that's probably what attracted the attention of the two Klansmen who showed up, stared us down, and then, I shit you not, followed us across the highway to Burger King when we saw what was going on and fled the gas station. No, really. They had Klan stickers all over their truck and were wearing Klan logo t-shirts. They were definitely fucking with us, all very openly. We got out of Vidor in a hurry, and I was, you know, nervous from the whole thing until we checked into our French Quarter hotel. These two incidents, these two brushes with hate that I've had in my life scared me. But they were, to me, isolated incidents, situational, you know. They started and then they ended. But, you know, I gotta tell you that after the murders of the two protesters in Wisconsin by a white supremacist terrorist, on top of years of increasing right-wing terrorism, my personal fear of hate in America is no longer about isolated events. This is ongoing, continual, no end in sight. I now know what it's like to live with the knowledge that thousands of people want me dead. Dead for who I am, dead for what I think, and nothing else. Okay, I've got to observe here that this is also a really big white privilege thing going on with me too. You know, you see black people on television after police kill yet another black person, talking about how horrible it is to continually see people who look like them being murdered by cops. Those white protesters in Kenosha, shot down in cold blood by a racist terrorist, they look like me. And it's horrible. You know, even so, I haven't had to live my entire life like this, with this fear, this rage. This is very new to me, and I fully understand that I'm feeling only a fraction of what black Americans feel their whole lives. I have long understood intellectually how horrible racism is, and now I've got the flavor in my mouth and I can't spit it out fast enough. Imagine living your whole life like that, you know, I can't. Too awful to contemplate. But I can tell you for sure that I don't like what I'm feeling right now. Trump and Tucker and all their racist ilk, you know, they're cheering this on, but they are fanning flames that were already there with their industrial bellows. Right-wing terrorism has routinely topped FBI and DHS threat assessments for at least a decade, much to the chagrin of the Republicans. Indeed, really, if you want to get down to it, this shit goes all the way back to Reconstruction. Killing black people and their supporters is deeply embedded in the nation's genetic code. And now conservative leaders are joyfully and aggressively activating those genes. This is real. Do not dismiss it. Right-wingers with guns and bombs want to kill you. Their numbers are growing, their bloodlust is increasing, and I think they're going to go totally nuts in the weeks of chaos, surely to follow the election. I can't think of anything on the horizon that's going to prevent it. Beware. I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe.